Good morning. This is me, Minecraft's most handsome, and welcome. It's Wednesday. You already know what we do every Wednesday nowadays, and if you don't, oh boy, it's Snapshot Day. We've got a beautiful brand new sign, and we've got lots of changes this week. Smash like so I'll be able to feed myself, subscribe for more Snapshot videos every single week, you know, and overview. In this week's Snapshot, we have even more creative inventory changes. We've got new blocks inside of the inventory. We've got changes to the mob spawner and a bunch of brand new mob spawn eggs. We also have some amazing, potentially game-changing new game rules and the best chiseled bookshelf update of all time. Fellow stoners or redstoners for long, oh boy, this is the update for you. The chiseled bookshelf. I've talked about it in other Snapshot videos and just other videos in general, but I feel like there's a lot of potential with these things, and the devs, they apparently agree. Check out what we could do inside of this snapshot. So I'm inside of a trap chest. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a bunch of items into it. And then as you maybe notice here, look at that. The books slowly fill up into this bookshelf. Hoppers and chiseled bookshelves, they're essentially best friends now. They actually work together. This is so good. Now I'd like to do a little bit of live or real-time testing with you. I haven't tested this one out, but I'm sure it's gonna work. Hopper right below it will pull them out, right? Oh yeah. Hopper right below it unloads the books, at least as far as it can. Okay, that's interesting. How about hopper to the side of this thing? If we put a hopper over here and put something in it, yes, it loads it, okay. I mean, I'm sure this is gonna work exactly how I'm imagining this is gonna work, but hopper in the back of this thing, books inside of this, and it's loaded from the back too. Alright, so quick scientific summary for you lads. Hopper right down below the chiseled bookshelf, and what do you know, the hopper unloads the bookshelf. Hopper right to the side of this thing, above it or even behind it, and the hopper will actually take the thing and put it inside of the... Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Actually kind of funny too, because just this morning I was working on a chiseled bookshelf video on some other functionalities, and this was one of them. Keep your eyes out for that video later, like maybe this weekend. Alright, so we're big brain around here. Of course, if we slide into the creative inventory and look up spawn eggs, we will of course be able to name all of these off the top of our heads, but look at that right there. That stuck out like a sore thumb, at least to me. Look at this thing. That's a brand new spawn egg. Now we also have a polar bear spawn egg texture change. I don't know if you can notice it, but yeah, it's like to differentiate it from the ghast, and yeah, as you can clearly see here, very different. Let's go ahead and check out some new spawn eggs though. We've got the iron golem spawn egg right there, a beautiful texture, and the snow golem spawn egg. That's pretty nice. We also have two very dangerous spawn eggs right here. Give Waddles Ender Dragon spawn egg, and then go ahead and give Waddles Wither spawn egg, and yes, as you would expect. We get the iron golem from the spawn egg, we get a snow golem from the spawn egg, that's nice. We also get the Ender Dragon from the spawn egg, and... oh, hold on, that's gonna ruin my world. No. Alright, well, didn't really think about that one, so just go ahead and get rid of that. Trust me, bro, it works. And then if you're on anything other than peaceful, the wither spawn egg will work too. And yep, we're not gonna do that. No wither storm today. No, friend. No. If you're sensitive, you might want to skip ahead like 20 seconds because it might be too soon, but this does confirm that if the tough golem had won the mob vote, we would have gotten a brand new tough golem spawn egg. Maybe too soon? Look, I've never cared about spawn egg textures so much, but like, these spawn egg textures are clean. Like, specifically this iron golem one and the ender dragon one, those are fresh. Like, those look really, really good, right? Delicious. While we're taking a look at, like, creative related things, let's take a look at the creative inventory, because this is the final round, hopefully, of creative inventory changes. First things first, some brand new items. Over to the redstone tab, slide all the way down to the bottom, and... what is this? What is that? And definitely, what is this right there? Starting with the command block right here, all of these blocks are considered operator blocks. If you have access to operator commands on like a server or just your single player world, these are going to show up at the very bottom of the redstone tab. If you are familiar with more technical things, then you probably know what all of these things do, different types of command blocks. The jigsaw block is related to structure generation. The structure void is also related to structure generation, very commonly used in data packs. The barrier block is a barrier, basically stops you from walking through. The light block is a light, and as you can see, yeah, it's lit here. Finally, the most overpowered thing of all time, this enchanted stick right here. This magic stick is used for controlling and changing block states and other properties about interesting blocks. Like, check this out. I'm turning the fence gate around with an enchanted stick. It's pretty cool. If I go ahead and scroll through this, I could do some other things to it. It's pretty nice. Now, speaking of gates, this is the wild flock of fence gates we found in last week's Snapshot video. Also in last week's Snapshot video, we discovered something truly disturbing about the bamboo fence gate. The bamboo fence gate, it was actually invisible from the bottom when you open it. It is now confirmed that yeah, that definitely wasn't intended, and also the texture has been changed on this thing. Clean segues only around here. Bamboo mosaic is still technically not the same color as the scaffolding. Same with all of the other types of bamboo, but we don't worry about it. We don't worry about it. The big news here has to do with a bug fix relating to bamboo mosaic. So check this out. We have a furnace. Inside of the furnace, I have coal ore. Want to smelt that stuff up, of course. Well, previously, bamboo mosaic wouldn't have worked. Now it does. When bamboo mosaic is used in the furnace for smelting anything, it's going to work just like a normal piece of planks would. Look at this. This is the smartest move of all time. Infinite coal. Chaotically all over the place, though, back to the creative inventory, because I didn't finish talking about this thing. We've got a couple more rearrangements and movements going on in here. When it comes to functional blocks, we have the addition of tinted glass inside of this thing. Also, inside of functional blocks is this beauty right there, the bee nest. Inside of this tab, if we scroll down, the respawn anchor is right before beds because, of course, it's linked to like spawning. Scrolling down inside of this tab, we have end portal frame in the infested blocks inside of this tab because they are functional, which hurts me even more. Please explain to me how reinforced deep slate. I can't get this in survival. How is it a building block? Please don't tell me it's just a literal building block that you can't get. Please, I'm crying. Please. Anyways, speaking of building blocks, inside of this tab is somewhere you'll now be able to find the block of amethyst and the chain. Inside of crafting all the way down here, which interestingly doesn't use a crafting table, like definitely should, right? Ancient debris. Different order of these block tabs over here. Building blocks, then natural, then functional. It wasn't like that before. And then inside of the redstone tab, we have even more blocks popping up here. We're going to be able to find the chest, the barrel, the cauldron, the furnace, and the composter inside of this tab. Overall, I would say that I strongly agree with all of the work that King B-Dogs and the devs have been putting into reorganizing the creative inventory. The only thing that throws me off, I mean, come on guys, reinforced deep slate? Hopefully they'll move it to functional later, like once it does something right. As you might remember, in last week's Snapshot, for the very first time ever, on Java Edition, the spawner was added to the inventory. Check this out. Interact with spawn egg. Sets mob type. If I go ahead and pop that down right there, that's different. Always, like forever up until now, if you gave yourself a spawner and placed it down, like in creative or something, it would have a pig inside of it. This means a couple different things. First off, it's going to work a little bit different. Second off, if you're a creative builder, like you build in creative mode, look at this beautiful new window that you just got. Like this right here. Go ahead and throw a couple quick things together, you know, off the top of my head. Look at this beautiful new window. Like the chains. Oh, this evil looking. That's so cool. Second off, functionally, you're going to have to use a spawn egg on this thing to get it to actually work here. So, as you can see, I place the spawner down, use an iron golem spawn egg on this thing, and then if the spawning conditions are met, this thing should start spawning these creatures. Now, to be honest, I don't know what the spawning conditions are for these things, so, oh, never mind. I take it back, it works. New iron farm unlocked. Technical changes. Typically we breeze over these things because sometimes they're not like the most interesting changes, but this week is different. We need to talk about them, and you need to know about them. Tucked inside of this week's Snapshot, we have a solid handful of brand new game rules. First things first is one that relates to like global sound events. Kind of like when you summon a wither in, you know how like everybody can hear the wither in your server? Yeah. Game rule, global sound events, which defaults to true. If instead you set this thing to false, then those global sound events, well, they won't be able to be heard across the global. Game rule, water source conversion, which defaults to true. If we go ahead and switch this thing to false, and then go ahead and place a water bucket right here, and place another water bucket, and, okay, place a couple water buckets in here. Hold on. All right, this will be a better spot to show this off. Water right there, and water right there, and water over here, and maybe water over here. If you know how water works, typically, with these water sources placed in here like this should form like new water sources and be solid water across like at least this corner, right? Like check this out. We flip it back to true in the water. If I update this stuff in here, it's gonna start forming solid water, right? Well, you can now turn this off. Like you can stop new water sources from forming. Maybe you could use that to make some kind of super challenged mode. But that's not all. Game rule, the lava source conversion, which defaults to false. If we go ahead and turn that to true, check this out. We can go over here inside of this area and actually set up a very simple infinite lava generator. We put lava right there, and look at that. That just fully filled in. Like, if I go ahead and jump down right here, drop that, look at that. That's a lava source. Go ahead and drop that right there. It's lava. It's infinite, easy lava. What do you think about that, Pillager? Very exciting, yes, I know. Next up, we have 3 game rules having to do with explosions. The first one, game rule block explosion drop decay, which by default will be set to true. Well, if we go ahead and set that to false, all blocks should drop loot when an explosion happens. Now, I don't know if this is going to count as a valid explosion, but... oh, yes, it does, look at that. All of the blocks that dropped on there, I mean, some of them got burned up right away, but like, yeah, every single block dropped from that explosion, instead of just like close ones. The game rule, mob explosion drop delay, which again, defaults to true. Set it to false. Creeper. Oh man, when the creeper blows up, every single block will drop, not just the close ones. Game rule TNT explosion drop decay, which this time by default is set to false. If we go ahead and swap it to true, then when TNT explodes, only the blocks closest to this thing will actually drop into block form, instead of every single block usually dropping. You see that right there? Not very many blocks from that explosion. So we've got a lot of cool new interesting game rules that allow for more customizability. Finally. And this one is big. Like this one is really, really nice. First things first, we go over to the Tundra, where we began our Snapshot journey a couple weeks ago. It all really goes full circle. But anyways, if we go ahead and set the weather to rain now, suddenly, because we're in the cold biome, it's going to begin snowing. Now, right now, by default, nothing has changed. We're going to get one snow layer everywhere. However, game rule, the snow accumulation height, and this might be one that you want to change before you start your world. You set it anywhere in between 0 and 8. If we set it to 8, snow is going to, look at this thing, as it's snowing, snow is actually going to be able to pile up now. And setting it to 8, that's going to allow for snow to stack up all the way up to a solid block, like, 8 snow layers in a block. And then, I think after that, that's going to allow for even more snow to start snowing on these snow blocks right here. So basically, like, you could actually have snow, like fill up your world. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this one, but, like, at least to me, this is some revolutionary, exciting stuff. Like this is so cool. For years, Bedrock has been able to do this, and now finally, at a long last, Java Edition can have realistic snow too. Wow, it really is the season. Anyways, lads, laddies, everybody, that is just about gonna do it for Snapshot 22w44a. What do you think? Personally, really hoping a new 1.20 feature, or 2 or 3 or 4, like, comes soon. Please. Huge shout out to my patrons, Tanner B, Austin B, Andrew H, Gabriel Y, and Paul P. Remember to like and subscribe, it helps out big time, and check out this video next. I think you'll like it. It's all about Minecraft's biggest dinosaur ever. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.